Good.
Yeah, so the tech writing team had an interesting week last week. We are now 3 people down. Help. What this means is I'm going to be depending heavily on the rest of you to, the only polite way to say it is yell if I have dropped something. I will do my best. I don't know if I'm going to be picking up new groups. I think I might be until we can get 3 new people hired. This is fine. So help. Just feel free to tap me on the shoulder a little earlier than usual. If I'm not responding in what seems like a normal frame of time for me, just assume that my brain has left and ping me, because I don't want to be a blocker. And if things get really, really busy as we get closer to 15.0, I will start waving stuff through to production and tell engineers, just make me an issue for a follow-up, because I don't want to block anything. Yay. Any questions? Any unemployed tech writers? No? Sad face. All right, Annabelle, you're up. Oh, that's right, Kai. We get to party on 15.0 together.
It was more for everyone else's that your capacity, as well as mine, as we approach release, will shift a little bit in terms of what we're working on. So just as a heads up.
Right.
You're doing the release press for 15.0?
Yep.
Great timing.
Expect a significant number of UX improvements added to the release post.
Yeah, and speaking of, I thought it would be good to show everyone what Phil and I have been working on. As we've discussed in the past, I dislike the sidebar and I'd love to remove it. And we thought, you know what, now's the perfect time. We'll remove the sidebar on the pipelines, commits, and changes tab. So Phil did it, and it was horrible because I totally forgot the header just shifts. Like you switch tabs, the whole header shifts because it doesn't exist on those tabs anymore. So we've been playing around with how to get things, you know, should it be fixed still? Should it be below the header section? Should we remove the sidebar entirely? Can we stick it all in the header in some way? So Marcel's been working on some concepts there too. But I just want to show you kind of where we are right now. This will all go behind a feature flag because I know it has not been prioritized or anything. We are going a little above what maybe we're meant to be doing, but it's a perfect time to do it because it's 15.0, right? So big changes. That's great. Let's share my screen for just Figma. Okay. So this is what the merge request page currently looks like. We started just by removing this, and like I said, it was a disaster because this entire area shifts back and forth depending on which tab you're on. So we looked into keeping it fixed, and so, or sorry, not fixed. It'll scroll with the content. So I decreased the width of this content a little bit, not as much as it would seem. And now this is just a little section only on the overview tab. So when you switch between these, the header stays exactly where it is. There's no shifting. And this is only on this page. Some of the things have been removed from the sidebar entirely. Lock merge request can go in this little ellipsis menu because when the merge request is locked, you get the little icon up here that says it's locked. So it's binary, on or off. The reference, I already have a merge request to remove that because we already have, oh, I'm sorry, source branch has been removed in a merge request because we already have that information elsewhere. But on top of that, I'd like to move it up to the top so that it's available on all the tabs. So if you're looking at your changes and you want to copy the branch, check out the changes locally, you can just click it right here. So at the top, the badge has been restyled and you've got all the branch info here that previously was located right here. This widget, I would like to remove entirely as well. So the branch info has been moved to the top. The checkout branch items have been moved into this dropdown called merge request. And you can see you can review the changes here, or you can download the options here. So that's those 2 buttons taken care of. Oh, that's all the buttons taken care of. The only thing missing here is the how far behind the target branch we are. I don't know where that could go yet. So still thinking about that. And I know that there's been a proposal to add a rebase button in cases like this. So I'll have to think about that one too. And options are here. Anything else that's been removed? Oh, I think the reference could be either removed or placed elsewhere. I don't know about that one yet. Time tracking we've talked about. Now is probably not the time to remove that because it's being worked on and it is being used by some team members. It's fine to stay there. And notifications and to-dos. Those are the two that I'm still unsure about. It feels they're kind of personal to the user. They feel like they don't belong in the sidebar, which is all metadata associated with a specific merge request. It also feels a little weird in this dropdown because again, this is specific to the merge request and actions that you can take to review the code. So unsure where that could go yet, but this is sort of something that we've been working on, and I just wanted everyone to see it. And if you have any questions or comments, opinions, suggestions, anything, that's great.
I have one. This is something that is so basic, and the current design makes me fight so hard for it. What's the pipeline status of this merge request? Is it green? Is it red?
It's very red, and it's not.
No. Meaning any merge request that I'm looking at. The only way that I can tell from this initial page is to look at the fav icon, and yeah,
that has not changed. That the widgets are still all below the fold, but that's good feedback. Definitely something to keep in mind. Yeah, that would be nice, like right up here somewhere.
Yeah, just the green or red, something.
Right. Yeah, that is the first widget people usually go to, from what I saw from all my research too.
Can I suggest another thing? I like that actually like the branches moved to the header, but when you're actually merging a merge request, you always have to check like if the branch is correct. So what do you think of like adding this information when the merge status is like ready to merge? Because right now it shows only a plain text like ready to merge and nothing else. So like adding ready to merge this into this, so you don't have to scroll to the top and can merge right away.
Yeah, that sounds like it might be a good candidate for that two-step merge request too, where you click merge and then you get like a pop-up that says, this is what's going to happen. You're going to merge this into this. The pipeline is passed. These, I don't remember what other information could be in that, but does that sound like it could address that problem?
I haven't seen like the pop-up interaction yet, so like I'm not sure.
Okay. I would show you right now, but I have no idea where it is. So I'll find it and link to the into the agenda.
Okay.
The only thing like you mentioned designs here not rolled out. Like, is your plan to actually have this all like engineered and done, not necessarily turned on, but engineered and done and behind a feature flag during 15? Or are you thinking like taking these designs and we're going to run some testing and get more feedback, or sort of what I don't care either way. I was just curious, like what are you asking for from us here, I guess?
I'm not really asking for anything other than what are your immediate thoughts, and do you hate it? Do you think it's a good idea? I don't know what that will affect. The idea is ideally completely engineered and completely finished. And I would love it to be behind a feature flag for GitLab org so that we can test it and get some internal feedback. And I've brought this up with Marcel a little bit too. I wish that we could, I don't know how you could do this, but I wish there was a really easy way for us to do way more testing internally and just start feature flagging so much so that we could get more internal feedback from us, the power users. I know we're biased and that's not a perfect research method, but it would be amazing if we could do bigger changes like this internally only. And I would be able to do that without writing all the feature flag code. that I'm relying on Phil to do and then remove, and then, you know, it's just a lot of work. But anyway, the idea is to get it all engineered, hopefully turned on for GitLab, just to see. And if it's a terrible idea, we won't release it.
Sorry, I have one more comment. Like from my front end perspective, it seems like very hard to actually implement this stuff because you have three dynamic elements. First one is nickname, which can be any length. Like there's Igor and a lot of W's that's like insanely large. And also these branches also can be like very large. You can like have very long names, I guess like up to 255 characters. So we'll have to basically shrink down three elements and have this like three dots after them. So would it be possible to just move the branches stuff to a separate line so like more stuff fits into this place? Because like from a implementation side, this doesn't look like optimistic for me at least.
Yeah, these are really lovely branch names. So right now we truncate it pretty aggressively. Here's the current implementation. So it's actually worse right now. We have barely any room and we just start truncating really quickly. With the removal of the sidebar, you'll notice that this header has gotten enormous. Like this entire area is now available for the header. So we'll be able to have them longer. I think that we should truncate them because they can get really, really long, except I'd rather this just started to wrap actually. I'll play around with how that could look, but I would prefer to wrap a little bit. Username too. I mean, I know there's that one user with 1 billion W's. I don't necessarily want to save users from themselves. I think that if they're going to make a crazy long username, then they're just going to have to deal with the repercussions. We can truncate it too. But I mean, we already have the username in the header, don't we? Yeah. So I'm hoping some of this will be not too different, especially given that we already have this tiny amount of space that we're working with right here.
I asked in chat, you don't have to. Would you mind linking the Figma file just so we can like look at it more? You can just add it to the agenda.
Yeah.
Awesome. I have the next one. We can also not talk about it if nobody wants to talk about it. I linked to the attention request feedback thread if anyone has thoughts they would like to share synchronously. I thought the agenda was light a few minutes ago when I added it, so I thought people might be interested in sharing, but we can also pass. And this will be my reminder that if you have feedback that you'd like to share, please go to the issue and share your feedback. Cool. We move on to number 4.
Okay, I'm not sure like if this is the best place to tell it, but like our recent change to automatically assign merge request authors actually broke some workflows because people were like creating merge requests to review them first and assigned like different people as authors and assigned themselves, I suspect, as reviewers. So it is a strange workflow, but it got broken. So I think I should like bring attention to it.
Yeah, I commented on the issue. I'm not necessarily concerned with handling the edge case of someone's workflow where they use sort of a field when we have a dedicated field for what they're trying to represent. But we can always wait and see what they come back with and say, you know, if they've got some reasons. I think for us, it's part of the whole create merge request workflow is sort of interesting, and we've seen more and more feedback about it as we've sort of manipulated some things about how you get into creating a merge request and what happens once you create a merge request. And so I think it's good feedback, but I would say one user sort of is what it is, and we'll continue to watch it and see what other improvements we can make. and see what they come back with. I'm not sure I can quite understand why you would use the assignee field and not the field labeled reviewer for a reviewer, but we can always see what happens.
And both
Awesome.
reviewers and assignees are available to all tiers, right?
Correct.
And multiple
Uh,
assignees and multiple reviewers.
Is a paid feature.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I wonder if they're sort of manipulating it that way and they're like a free user and like they use assignees to represent a first round reviewer and the reviewer to represent the person who like approves and merges is potentially, but like upgrade. I'm not sure what to say at that point. Although the approvals would be optional at that point too. So like they're not even technically enforcing anything. So like, yeah, I don't know. Awesome. Well, if no one has anything else, thanks for sharing, Annabelle, and Amy. Let us know if there's anything else we can do to help you. And it's good to see everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week.